All right, everyone, welcome back. We're doing another tier list. As I did promise in the DreamWorks and Illumination tier list, I was going to do the Pixar tier list, and here's episode 5, which is our Pixar tier list. So we're doing all of them with the inclusion of Elemental because I searched everywhere for something that did include Elemental. Sorry about that, guys. And a little bit of something right now. It should be fixed by tomorrow or probably by the next video. Which the next video might be my review on Teapot 7. And man, and just a spoiler alert, Teapot 7 was insane as heck, bro. You know, especially I paused right there because I was just about to spoil who got eliminated, but I'm pretty sure some of you have never seen Teapot 7 at all. I'm not about to spoil who gets eliminated until the review. This is unless you've actually seen it, then you're free to watch Teapot 7. Or at least I'm at least able to tell you who gets out in that episode. And trust me, that episode was insane. The challenge itself is insane. And I absolutely did get the exit scene as preparation. Like, that'll be the clip I used before the review. Yeah, that ending was insane regarding they did use the exit. But we're on to our Pixar tier list. So the first movie is Toy Story, the first one. Okay. Y'all can't tell me you've never watched this on DVD as a kid or on Disney Plus. If you're young right now and you probably have some streaming services, one of the better websites, I guess, that our society has added. And some websites have gone downhill, even down to the bone of having toxic people, stupid people, or people in general behind this website that can't even take a little bit of criticism, bro. And I'm posting this on a website where the people themselves behind the website can't even take criticism at all. Like, bro, what's so hard about taking criticism? But anyways, Toy Story's an A tier. Yeah, high A tier, could be S tier. Because it's the first ever movie that was animated in full 3D. And guess what? To this day, we have influenced a bunch of others. Like DreamWorks, Disney started from 2005 or 2000. I don't know. Like, it was either Dinosaur, like, maybe, but I'm more positive it was Chicken Little that was the first animated 3D movie from Disney. Even though Illumination got into it, and Sony as well. And then we got A Bug's Life. Yeah, this is B tier. Upon a rewatch, like, it just went a little down for me. Also, I feel like this movie could literally use a cartoon or probably some. I know it's been 25 years since this released, so the chances of a sequel is really low. Also, when it takes over 10 years for a sequel to come, this will probably cause the movie to be terrible itself. And then next we have my most favorite of the Toy Story series, the second movie. This is an S tier. Cause, like, bro, every character was amazing in this movie. You know, my favorites in the second movie were Jesse, Stinky Pete, and Al McWiggin. Those were my 3 favorites in the second movie. I think Jesse's my favorite throughout the entire franchise. And man, the movie start proving me more. And then we got Monsters, Inc. A tier. I mean, it's debatable between this and the first Toy Story, which is actually somewhat better. And starting from 2001, the animation software start allowing the characters to have fur. So that's probably why there was a stuffed bear in the first Toy Story movie. I think that's supposed to be a prototype to Lotso in the third movie. We'll get to that in a minute. So, but since there wasn't any fur in the software back in 1995, that wasn't really the case. Next up, we got my most favorite movie of all time. And it's still my favorite Pixar movie to this day. Finding Nemo. Another S tier, bro. Oh man, I could watch this forever and it doesn't get boring to me. Bro, Meet the Robinsons is almost the same level as Finding Nemo in terms of how good it is, bro. And I wonder why I have both as S tier. And it's only a little bit close. But Nemo is somewhat better. And then we got The Incredibles. I swear, y'all gonna be screaming in the comments, but this is a high A tier. Yeah, I'm sorry for those who thought it was gonna be S tier. But the one thing that stopped it from being S tier is how overrated it is. I'm sorry you guys have to hear this, but like, I'm sorry. I cannot name a much more popular Pixar movie or a Pixar movie that's more talked about than The Incredibles, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's overrated as hell. Yeah, and it's so hard to come across a tier list where it doesn't go in top 5 or top 3. Like it is that hard to come across a whole top 10 list that doesn't have a top 5. Plus, there's no Pizza Planet truck cameo in this movie. Like I said, I don't dislike everything that's overrated, by the way. Like, there's some things that are overrated that actually deserve the popularity in a legitimate way. And then we got the first Cars movie. Okay, I'll kid y'all not. Cars 1 is still fun as hell to watch. And I thought Schaeferless did this movie absolutely dirty, bro. Like the fact he puts it as 4th lowest on his Pixar ranking. Like, I'm sure, sure, but I'm sure everyone's allowed to have what they think, but dude, Cars 1 being 4th lowest is one of the most disagreeable opinions he's ever had. Yeah, I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, he does the whole franchise dirty, bro. Like I'm about to backfire his whole statement. Like, I wouldn't say backfire it, but I might do a full essay on why he's wrong about the Cars franchise being conceptually bad. Yeah, quote unquote conceptually bad. It's actually somewhat a good franchise if it weren't for the second movie. The second movie's probably the only reason he even thought that. I'm playing. He got full on depth into that essay, bro. And I don't know about the disrespecting opinion, bro. So Cars 1 is getting an S tier for that. Anyone else is getting an S tier? Ratatouille. Like, bro, if you don't have Ratatouille in your top 5 or top 3, oh my god, what is wrong with you? I'm not saying it because it's food. Like, bro, I love the fact it takes place in Paris. The characters are equal. Well, I wouldn't say equally likable. Chef Skinner is one of my most favorite villains. He's one of my top 5. Up there with Water News, Randall, Chick Hicks, and probably some villain I'll get into later. But probably when we get to that movie, you'll probably get to that villain at some point. Okay, Wall-E gets a high A tier next. I forgot who the villain was for this one, but overall, the only thing I do remember is Wall-E being so good. And then we got Up. Hate to break it, but while I can't agree that the beginning of Up is emotional, I can't really agree with it being S tier. Again, this remains somewhat forgotten, but I can see where they're going. Next, we got Toy Story 3. Like I said, I feel like almost every Toy Story was better than the first. Well, actually, not all of them. Only the second one was better. Regarding the Pixar's a creative studio, it's obvious I can think positively about a lot of the films. I didn't think positively about all of them because our next film is Cars 2. Yeah. But I do surface a lot on the internet. I'm on the internet all the time, and I can experience how overhated this sequel is. Well, I can't even call it a sequel. It doesn't even feel canon to the Cars franchise anymore. Like, regarding him as so hated, I'm going to give it a C tier, 6 out of 10 for me. Yeah. The more hate this is, the higher ranking I'm going to give it, bro. Like if I were to make a list of films that really don't deserve to be hated, I would put this on the side that does not deserve to be hated. And I have a lot of films that really deserve to hate to get, like rip-off movies, probably certain controversial movies. Heck, studios in general to try cashing in on the success of other movies. There's actually this what is it? There's actually this studio called The Asylum and Wow Now Entertainment. Well, I wouldn't say Wano Entertainment tries cashing in. Of anything, the Asylum does that better. They try cashing in on the success of like two Pixar movies. And they were released consecutively in a row. And then we got Brave. I mean, low C tier because this movie was boring upon rewatch. I put this slightly lower than Cars 2 because unlike Cars 2, whereas I didn't get bored no matter how many times I rewatched it. And yes, I'm aware of how poorly executed it is. Y'all guys don't have to tell me. This film was absolutely boring. Almost all the scenes weren't interesting. Yeah, almost all of them. I'm sorry, but it's true. I don't see how anybody says it's better than Cars 2. Like, dude, Cars 2 isn't boring at all. Despite barely have anything to do with the first movie. It's just poorly executed. There's a difference between being poorly executed and being boring. And I've struggled to come across a film that has both. The only ones I've ever came across were like the Emoji Movie and Shrek the Third. Those are two of them that were both boring and poorly executed at the same time. Even Rio 2 wasn't like this. And I heard that Rio 2 was terrible. And I've not watched it in a while. But we're moving on to Monsters University. High C tier. I do love the fact this is a prequel at least. So it gives it a high C tier. Could have been a mid B tier or something. Another high A tier movie. Inside Out. The idea of emotions running in our head. I wonder if we had that in real life. Like just little tiny emotions that could talk inside our head. I've always wondered that. You know, speaking of which, there's actually kind of a meme centered around this trailer. Yeah, the trailer for the movie, it ended up becoming a meme. So, there. Another low C tier on our list is The Good Dinosaur. And this was released the same year as Inside Out, bro. You're kidding, right? I could put this slightly lower than Brave because, think about it. They're both equally boring. It's just that I feel like Brave had one more scene more interesting than The Good Dinosaur. So, I give Good Dinosaur second lowest on the list, but the lowest on the list we'll get to later. Like we're probably gonna be in the last 3 movies at that point. While not as good as the original film, I will still give Finding Dory a mid A tier. It will still be top 10 because, like, bro, I might have to tie some movies for a certain position. Yeah, I'll tie both of them equally, so it'll be a tie for how equally good they are. Next up is Cars 3. While Cars 2 had more action, while Cars 3 was, better executed, I'm not gonna go my way to say that the third one was, slightly less. I would say the third one is slightly less entertaining than the second. It's just as better executed, and the execution is all I care about. Even the second film would be better executed. It's just less boring than the first and third in general. But despite Cars 1 being an S tier and all that. But overall, Cars 3 felt more like a direct sequel to the first one than the second one did. And therefore, I can give it a B tier. But the one thing that stopped me from giving it an A tier was how predictable the final race was. That was absolutely predictable. See, even Cars 1 and 2 weren't predictable, which is why I gave this one a B tier. Speaking of which, have you ever watched both the Planes movies? They were released before the third. And I heard the first Planes movie was worse than the second Cars movie. And I've watched both, and I can somewhat agree. But although I think both are equally mid as hell, bro. Next up, we got Coco. High A tier. I just love the sound of Mexican culture. Like, who doesn't love Mexican culture done in a movie? Yeah, this is about the Day of the Dead. And I watched this in my Spanish class in the 11th grade, bro. We also watched Encanto at the time. Like, it was on streaming. Man, that's why Encanto is top 3. Because they both have a lot in common in that way. They're both Hispanic culture. You want to know the difference between Encanto and Coco? Encanto is a top 3 movie for me, bro. And then we got Incredibles 2. B tier. Wasn't as good as the first, but still alright. It's just, some people say it's a crime to call it better than Coco. Bro, people are allowed to think that. Bro, that's another video I was actually working on right now, dude. Opinion bashing. Again, opinion bashing is absolutely annoying. Like, it's literally annoying how people somehow have a positive opinion on something everyone hates just to get bullied. Some dude ended up hanging themselves just because they liked Lila so much. The whole Miraculous community was on that person. Wow. And I wonder why I'm this close to leaving the Miraculous community. Like, bro, people are so toxic. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just the truth, man. You look like I'll come for Twitter or TikTok by this point. Then we got Toy Story 4. I'm a crap you guys not. Like, this is the least good out of all 4 of them. And Lightyear technically doesn't count, as that's just a spinoff or probably just an in-universe movie or something. And that is far less good than the 4th movie. Y'all cannot convince me otherwise. Not to mention, that movie is absolutely boring, but we'll get to that later. And then we got Onward. Mid-C tier, because I hate to say this, but this is probably one of the least interesting films I've ever sat through, bro. And this is a Pixar movie. And Pixar is known for making either interesting or probably creative movies. Okay, it's creative, just not that interesting, that's all. I can also give Soul a high C tier. Could have been a B tier. Nah, forget B tier. B tier. Having a black protagonist is awesome, bro. We need more black protagonists in fictional media. Like, it's so dumb how we're not having more black protagonists in fictional media. And it's so stupid. Next up, we got Luca. Another S tier. You know, if Luca felt like an LGBT movie to me. Like, think about it. The relationship between Luca and Alberto works as an LGBT relationship. And if it was an LGBT movie, bro, it would be surpassing Toy Story 2 as the top 2 movie. Instead, Toy Story 3 would still be top 3. It doesn't beat Nemo, but at least Luca did something. Everything was hella interesting, bro. Not to mention, the relationship between Alberto and Luca reminded me of the relationship between Wilbur and Lewis, except it feels homosexual. And yes, people ship those two as well, but the one thing weird about it is that both of them are actually related, so I don't think the ship actually makes sense. I'm sorry, but it's true. And then we got Turning Red. Another C tier. I mean, it's tied with Monster University in that way. Like, it does center around Chinese culture, so I guess I'll give it a B tier. Yeah, B tier sounds suitable enough. Yeah, sorry about that. That was weird. And then we got Lightyear. D tier. Well, high D tier. It's a 5 out of 10 for me. Yeah, this movie was really boring. Unlike Cars 2, bro. When I was looking up a website, this website ended up saying Lightyear was way better than Cars 2. Yeah, not even close to even being true at all. Because look at Lightyear, you're gonna be instantly bored watching this movie, bro. That's why I gave it a 5 out of 10. I gave Cars 2 a 6 out of 10. Because anything with a 6 out of 10, I end up saying it isn't that boring at all. But yet here I am. But that seems a little hypocritical, as I also gave Brave and Good Dinosaur a 5 out of 10. But yet they're less boring than this. That's because they're better executed in general. And Lightyear had literally no reason to exist. And Saber Spark can say the same thing. Like, there's already Star Command. Why the hell even bother on making Lightyear? Like, that makes no sense. That's almost like the Emoji Movie. Wanna know why? Because both of them shouldn't exist at all and have no reason of existing. But it doesn't mean I would go as far to say this Sony should shut down, unlike certain someone else on YouTube, bro. All of this just for Emoji Movie existing, bro. Dude, studio shouldn't shut down for that. And then we're on to our last film, Elemental. C tier, 5th lowest on the list overall. Actually, 6th lowest in general, because I just love the idea of elements. It's just that, nah, you know what? B tier. Although it's a 6 out of 10. Yeah, since it's a 6 out of 10, I'll give it a high C tier. Could have been a B tier if I did give it a 7 out of 10. But it's a high 6.8 out of 10. It was really close. Oh, God. Oh, I might need my pills for this one. Because I do have some pills that allow me to stop coughing. Anyways, but by the next video, I shouldn't cough at least once. I've coughed at least 2 or 3 times throughout this entire video. But I think we're done with the Pixar tier list. Thank y'all so much for watching. And then episode 6, we're moving on to some character tier lists. Like, let me know which kind of fictional media you guys want for a tier list. I could do a teapot tier list, an animated and animate battle tier list, an SML tier list. I was actually gonna do that. That was actually another idea for 700 subscribers, part 2. As a matter of fact, I could have had that as the 3rd special for 500 subscribers. But that didn't slip my mind at the time, so that was canceled. Again, like 2 times. But we can still do an SML tier list if that's what you guys want. And trust me, the SML tier list is going to be fun as it's filled with a lot of characters that just lack a lot. Like, I literally kid you guys not. They're the reason that this channel went downhill. Because most of them are stupid and annoying, bro. Like, I literally kid you guys not. They are so unintelligent, it can literally make an inanimate object much smarter than them. And it's going to be fun if you guys want that, bro. But overall, this is a really fun tier list. Let me know what you guys disagree with on the tier list overall. And what tiers would you guys put these movies in? I didn't put anything in F tier as this is a creative-ass studio. And Lightyear was somewhat pretty close to C tier. But since I did give them at least a 5 out of 10, I guess I'll just drag them down to D tier. Anyway, that's better. So, we're done with the video.